Hello everyone, I'm Amanda Jane and I want to show you today how to use a flat iron without getting your hair too straight. For many of us, like myself, whose hair texture is somewhere between fine and medium, we end up using a flat iron and it just looks really bodiless and thin, and sure, it's silky, but it just doesn't look that great. So I want to show a technique that by using a flat iron with a round brush, you can get just the right amount of body and still that silky smooth texture you really crave. So first, I'm just going to blow dry my hair upside down. I know a lot of you are not comfortable with using a round brush while you blow dry. I was never comfortable with that until I started using it on other people, since I'm a hairstylist. But if you're not comfortable flat round brushing your hair, just don't. Blow dry upside down. So that's what I'm going to start with. I like to blow dry upside down because you get a lot of natural volume by working a little bit against gravity. So you've probably done it before, just flip and blow dry. Now that we are all dry, let's talk about how you're going to part it before you start. I'm so accustomed to using this technique that I will usually just kind of put half of it up and start with the bottom. But if you're beginning, I would suggest using 3 parts. One that's kind of this upper crown part. And clip. Any old clip will do. Another that is this midsection, which when we get to, we will later split into 2 parts, so you can deal with first the right side then the left side, or vice versa. Oops. And clip. And now we have this lower section of hair. Okay. Basically, a way people get really intimidated is that they come to the very bottom and they try to roll it up like a curling iron, and then they, hit it with the blow dryer and it gets stuck, especially if their hair is really long. So really, instead of really worrying too much about using it to get actual round shape to it, just pretend you're brushing your hair from underneath and ever so slightly torquing your wrist like this as you go. Because really what we're doing here is trying to prohibit the flat iron from getting your hair too straight, because then it's just not going to look natural. So now that this is all hot, I'm going to get the round brush underneath my hair, and I'm going to run it through the flat iron, grab the hair, and kind of hold it up like this. Honeys, can I scoot over? I can't see. Thanks. My boyfriend Jeff is the photographer. Thanks, guys. And when we drop it, you see that we get a really nice curve, but it still looks like my hair and it still has body. Same back here. And curve. Now let's see what would happen if I were to just flat iron. Okay. It's a different look, and of course we don't see my entire head down. I'm going to do this side just straight, so you're going to see what it looks like if it's just straight. But right now, in my opinion, this looks fine too. Okay, a little more curve, a little more straight. Next section. Now I'm going to split this section I just took down in half. Doesn't have to be exact. Put this part over to the side, work on it later, and I'm going to work on the left first. So again, grab the hair underneath and lift up and catch it with the flat iron and catch it again with the brush. If you have a little more natural wave to your hair than I do, which is likely, you can just really do this again and again and again. Each time, hold on to it on the round brush so that the hair has time to cool down, because it's while it cools down that it sets. So you've probably noticed if you try to put a lot of curls in your hair, and they fall out really quickly, you're probably not letting it cool enough before you let the curl drop out of your hand. So again, here we can see it's really smooth, it's straight, but we've got body. And again, catch from underneath and lift. Clamp it between the flat iron and catch it again with the hair. Pull out, curl it, hold it to your head. It's probably cool by now, and we'll let it drop. the same thing on this last piece back here before I move to the other side. You can probably see, especially since I can't see what I'm doing right now, I'm not really being that exact. But it doesn't matter, because what I'm doing here is creating shape with the round brush and the smoothness with the flat iron. So whether you're getting every single hair in there as you clamp the flat iron down on it, doesn't really matter, because you're going to go back over it anyway. Voila. Okay, let's go super straight on the other side. Another thing I really like about using a round brush is that I'm not only enabling the bottom to get really nice and smooth and healthy looking, but I'm really creating volume here too. So now that more hair is down than just the last and third section, you can really see what's happening is that on this side, I look a little more balanced. I have more volume going on the top. It just falls a little more nicely. Can't really explain it other than that. On this side, on the other hand, it's falling so straight for my head because I didn't allow it to have any lift that it's really not even very flattering. And so on this side, we can see it almost, since I already have a long face especially, it's almost pulling my face down even more and making me look a little bit horsey, which is what the kids said I looked like in elementary school. I know, can't not bring that up on TV, right? So there you go. I prefer this side. That's just me. Let's keep going. And, you know, here we're getting to the question of what side is your best part. Oh, we'll get into that later. But for now, you know, choose a side. I'm just going to do a basic middle part for the sake of showing, you know, rounded versus completely straight. Clamp, catch and roll. Hold, let it cool. And drop. Now what's going on in this particular instance, and it's really my haircut, is that now that I have all this great volume, I feel like I'm a little too, you know, the great Rachel haircut, which was great, but still like, you know, 90s, and I would like to bring this into the modern world a little bit. So I'm going to use the same technique, but I'm going to take this piece and curl it the opposite way. So instead of catching under, you're going to catch it over. Flat iron and catch. Roll, hold. And it's fine that the front piece fell out because, you know, I want it styled but not really too perfect. And there we go. That just allowed it enough to bend the opposite way. Some pieces I have flipping back out, some are coming back in, but I don't have a poof now, which I definitely don't want. Now that we have this small piece, I'm basically going to just throw the pieces I'm not using over on the other side and flat iron straight down. And, you know, again, flatness is perhaps in the eye of the beholder. I think straight, that's just not flattering. It's really not. Yeah, and what's happening on this side is that, frankly, my hair doesn't even look as healthy. I find that hair is happiest if we allow it to be the way nature is intending it to be. And that doesn't mean that we can't change it and have fun with it, but in this case, since I do have natural body to my hair, I'm allowing it to have the body and maintain that curve, but kind of implementing a little bit more shine that I wouldn't get without the flat iron. So, you know, we're all entitled to our own wishes with our hair. I prefer this side, some prefer this, but now you know how to add a little more body and still flat iron your hair. For more tips and videos, you can check me out at amandajanehair.blogspot.com. Thank you.